Hello everyone, welcome back to the Rui Lopez opening series. So in this video, we'll be looking at the Berlin defense, and it is quite a popular opening at the Grandmaster level. And this opening is considered to be a drawish kind of opening for Black. And even when Black wants a draw in the games which he has to play, and actually this opening is quite common in these days, because it was actually released or it was revived by Vladimir Kramnik in the 2000 World Championship, and against Gary Kasparov. And everyone in that game, Kasparov lost to Kramnik, and Kramnik somehow he won the game, and he managed to win against Kasparov. And the opening was first analyzed in depth in the 19th century, and it also received its name from the Berliners that examined its variations. And due to the defensive and drawish nature of the opening, it is sometimes also called as the Berlin Wall. And the opening was also rarely used in high level games and received little attention until the Classical World Chess Championship in 2000, and in which Vladimir Kramnik used it as a drawing weapon against Gary Kasparov. And Kramnik used the Berlin in games in his games 1, 3, 9, and 13 in the match, each time as Black. And all the games he played as Black, all the games were drawn. And after losing the match, actually Kasparov cited Kramnik's superior opening preparation as a reason for his loss. In an interview with John Henderson, Kramnik described his use of the Berlin defense. Now, the Berlin defense, actually, he told that it suited his strategy for the match. And at that time, Kasparov was a very attacking player, and he was very famous for his tactical ideas in attacking, and he was quite an aggressive player. And in that game, Kramnik had a very defensive strategy, and Kasparov had not did not try all these defensive stuff, and he wanted to try the defensive strategy with Black, and it worked so well. And this was all new to Kasparov. And in the 2000 match, caused a resurgence of interest in the Berlin defense at all levels of the game, and such as it is used by Magnus Carlsen and Vishwanathan Anand in games 4, 6, 7, and 8 of the World Chess Championship 2013. It is now regarded as a solid opening for Black to use in order to achieve an equal endgame. So, this opening is also played commonly by the world chess champion, 5-time world champion Vishy Anand, and the current world champion Magnus Carlsen. So even Magnus Carlsen said that the Berlin defense was his favorite opening. And there are many variations for Black in the Berlin defense, and there are a lot of theory. If you do not know any theory as Black, it is just complete waste, garbage for you, and White will just dethrone you from the position. So actually, it is a very drawing weapon for Black. And main variations are, one is to play the E-Hermit variation, which is also called as the Berlin Endgame and the Berlin Wall. Then in other variations, we have D3. It is a very common move, and it also supports White. And yes, let's get into the opening, and let's analyze all the moves. So the moves are E4, then E5, then knight to F3, knight C6, now bishop to B5. So in this video, I'm just going to make everything according to Black's point of view, as it is an interesting weapon for Black, especially when Black wants to draw games. So after this, knight to F6. So this move, actually what it does is that it attacks the pawn, and there are three main options for white in this position. One is to castle, and another is to play d3, and next is to play knight to c3. So knight to other options like bishop takes c6 does not sound good, because after d takes c6, now d3, then bishop c5, now knight bd2, then bishop to e6, castles, knight d7. And in this position, actually black is positionally well, and he has developed all his pieces, and he'll soon castle. And he can also castle queenside by moving his queen to e7. So it is not that well for white to take this knight. So even knight to c3 and even d3 are looking natural, because it supports this pawn. And after this, bishop to b4 will be played, and castles by white, then castles by black as well. Now d3, solidifying the position and supporting the pawn. And after that, d6, trying to make a vision for this bishop. And now bishop to g5, then bishop takes c3, then queen e7 will be played in this position. And yes, it is completely draw in this position. So white will definitely not try this knight c3 move. So the main line is that castles, now knight takes e4, then d4, and this is called as the Berlin-Rio gambit, and it will transpose into the Berlin endgame or the hermit variation. I'll show you a cheeky little trap in this position, in the position of white. Now after this, rook to e1 will be played. Now the knight is being attacked, so the knight has to go back. This is the best move for black. So attacking the bishop, and the bishop would obviously take, and it is but the trap comes in the way knight takes e5. Now if black is greedy and thinking that we have hung a piece, just then we are completely winning, because knight takes c6 is a discovered check on the king, and the queen is lost. So it is a small trap in which many of them do not note it and fall for his trap. So the weapon here is to the main move, rather than playing rook to e1, is to play d4 as told previously. So the move d4 protects this controls this square, and even exploiting this move is because of when you actually take, the file will be open for white to attack. So if you take, you can just push your rook here or the queen here, and a lot of pressure will be on this knight, and white will be in a very attacking position, and black will definitely lose. So after d4, which is the main line, knight to d6 will be played here. And after this, bishop takes, as the bishop is being attacked. So the scenario in this position is that if the bishop would have been here, or if it had been here, you could have just simply grabbed this pawn, and you could have gained significant advantage in the position with the tempo. So the point is that black also counts that he didn't play the move a6. If he had played a6 previously, then the bishop would have gone here, then here, then here. All the stuff will be there, and white will be in a better position. Even now white is better. So after this, white will take here, and the d takes c6. Now d takes e5, knight to f5. Now you see that the queens are open. So now the queen will take on d8, and the king recaptures. Now if you look that black has lost its right to castle, and after that there are many attacking options for white in this position. One is to bring out this bishop and keep a check, and after this knight will come here, the rooks will be connected, and it is better for white, but it is still a drawish position. And the pawn which plays an important role is that the bishop will be a good it will be very well developed when it is on this f4 square. But the point is that this pawn is blocking the vision of this bishop, so this pawn is also a factor. And another thing is that black's pieces are not well developed though, and you see this knight is pretty useless in this position, and in exchange for that white has not developed the same thing. White has not developed any piece, but soon both players will bring out their pieces, and it will just become it will transpose into a much theoretical endgame, and that is why it is called as the Berlin endgame. So after this, knight to c3, which is the main line or the main move in this position, and it is also one of the best ideas in this position, because you just develop the knight and you try to bring this rook to attack on this d file. So the king is exposed, it is almost exposed, and this rook will also join the party, as only a single pawn is on this e file, and this is a semi open file. So after this, king to e8 will be played, avoiding such threats, and h3. So h3, and the idea behind this behind the position is that white can just simply push all these pawns forward and make a pass pawn, but black can't do it. So if you also look that black has double pawns, and it is not advisable, and thus black has double pawns. It is very difficult to promote the pawns to queen. So white has extra pawn on the king side, and just black will try to attack on the queen side, and white's aim is that white will exchange more pieces in this position to gain a significant advantage in the end game, because he has all these pawns coming towards the king side trying to attack the king, and the king has also it has lost the right to castle. So h3 in this position is played, then h5 is played. You may wonder why h5 is played, and I'll be telling you why it is played. Then bishop to f4, now bishop to e7, now rook ad1, then bishop to e6, and knight g5 attacking the bishop, and rook to h6. This is the point of this move is that to push this rook. Black knows that it has lost the right to castle. So somehow black has black should try to bring the rook and win the game, or make a draw as such. So if you look at this, black can not also take this because of the knight is here. So after this, g3, again same, pushing the pawns towards the king side. Then now the bishop will take on g5, then bishop takes on g5. Now the rook is being attacked, rook to g6, and now h4. The same idea is being followed, and it is the Berlin defense is not such complicated opening, but you should have known the theory, what players have played the moves which are, you should know which moves are better in this position. So if you look at this, you can't also play this move, because just white will play something like knight here, then double the rooks and add more pressure. So it is not advisable to play rook to d8 in this position as well. Now f6, attacking the bishop, and in this position the theory somewhat ends. So this is the Berlin endgame, And another option in the in this position for white, not a castle. The third option, which I'll be discussing now, is to play d3, straightforwardly supporting this pawn and solidifying the position. And as I told in the previous video on the exchange variation, every pawn move makes a square or a diagonal weakened or a file weakened. So this diagonal is weakened, but white will somehow manage to castle and play accordingly. So in this position also, white is slightly better in this position, but black will somehow try to make it a draw. So after this, bishop to c5 is the most common move, because the best move in this position, which positionally which can be played, is d6. But when you actually play d6, the game will go like c3, then you play g6, fianchetto this bishop and castle, and white will castle, then knight will come here, and it is a winning position for white. So you can't draw the game. But another drawback is that your vision of the bishop is cut off. So the bishop would be nice when it is in the square. So we should first bring out the bishop straight away. So bishop to c4. Now after this, c3 will be played, solidifying the position, and now castles by black. Now castles by white and d6. Now d6 solidifies the position and also makes way for this bishop to attack. And knight bd2, developing the pieces, and now a6. So the game goes off like this. And the point is that you could just play something like this, and you could win this position easily as white. So it is not that advisable for black. And you see that it is a drawing weapon. And after this, bishop to a4. Now bishop to a7. Retreating the bishop is one of the most common moves. It is the most played move, but also b5 is the most preferred move, because just to completely make this bishop hid somewhere for a while, and the bishop will come here like the floor variation, the Ruy Lopez opening. Now after this, rook to e1 and bishop b6. Now knight to f1 and knight g4, then d4, and the knight will come here, somehow keeping an eye on this f5 square. Now after that, e takes d4, then c takes d4. Now knight b4. So in this position also, the theory is somewhat ends, but it is completely winning for white. So this is also not advisable, and some lines are 50-50, and but in most of the positions it is drawing. So the positions in the Berlin defense are somewhat drawing positions, and white could not manage to win the game. Even in the Kasparov-Kramnik game, it was very difficult for Kasparov to beat Kramnik, and Kramnik somehow he tried to dethrone Kasparov from the championship, and Kramnik revived this opening again. And this is a very useful opening for black, but you should also be very careful, as this opening involves a lot of theory. So there are many tricks and traps, and I'll also try to put the Kramnik and Kasparov game, and there are many traps in this opening, and there is also a trap called as the Mortimer trap. I'll be showing you now. So after this d3 move, the move which starts off with the trap is that knight to e7. So after this, castles by white, which is by far the most common move, but knight will take on e5. So no player will just refuse to take this pawn as it is coming free. Even if some other problem like the queen comes here, the knight will just go back, thinking of that. So after this, c6 will be played. So now the bishop is being attacked, and you can't take your bishop back here because the queen will just jump out from nowhere, and you will just win this knight, and you can easily win that game. Even if the bishop goes back, the same thing will happen in this position. So again, it is not advisable to play. So now you should also keep an eye, because if white plays this, it is not that good for black, because if you actually be greedy and take this, now knight to e6 is a checkmate, and white will easily win, because black's own pieces have blocked the king, and you can see that the king cannot move anywhere. So thus you should not take the bishop which is here. So very cleverly you should play something like knight to g6, giving a getaway square for the king. So now after this, there are many options, but the bishop has to retreat here, and now you just play b5, double attacking or forking the knight and the bishop, and you'll just get significant advantage in the game, and black will be completely winning this position. In this position, black is dominating, and the Mortimer trap goes off like this. And there is also another trap which is quite a common trap, and it is called as the fishing pole trap, and it also arrives from the Berlin defense. So in this position, white castles, and you play the move knight to g4. Now we start setting up our trap from this position onwards. So after this, the most common reply would be to kick off this knight from the g4 square. But actually we are not going anywhere. We are just going to stun white by playing the move h5. And if white is greedy and takes this knight, then it's gone. Because after takes, the knight is being attacked, and no matter where he goes to, either this square or this square, we are just going to mate. So let's say knight goes to e1. Now the queen will just simply come to h4. Now the queen has come from nowhere. So now black is threatening checkmate on this h file with the queen, the support of the rook. So now white has only one option to prevent the checkmate by actually freeing up a square for the king to move, which is actually the f2 square, by playing the move f3 or f4. And in this position we can actually just play g3, and it is we have just completely closed the position. This is a stunning move because we have blocked every single square for the king to escape. Now the only way is to delay the checkmate, at least, is to sacrifice our queen, white's queen, with the help of we just sacrifice our queen just to delay the checkmate. So after takes, even though now the rook will come here, and this is a clean smothered checkmate. So you may think that there are also some other common options. So another common option for white in this position you might commonly see is to play rook to e1. So the point of this is that white just this is a common move in the closed Ruy Lopez positions, and in this position you just play like the classical Ruy Lopez, bishop to c5. Now the bishop comes here, and after this white just plays d4 in this position, attacking the bishop. So after this you just take with the pawn, then knight takes. So it is not necessary to take with the pawn, but you just take with the knight. So the knight will definitely take this, and you can't take this because the queen will just take this, and this knight on g4, and you are just materially down, and white will definitely win this. And if you also see that white is threatening to take on this, and it is very difficult to protect this, because you just lose a lot of material in this position. So you can't actually take this knight on d4. So instead you play this stunning move, queen to h4. The queen jumps out from nowhere, and it joins the attack. So this move is not a bad, it is a very bad idea, because after the queen moves somewhere, your knight is still being attacked and the queen will join the party again. So it is not advisable to play. So the best move, and the most common move, or the move which comes to the mind of many people, is that just to put the knight back here, or even here. Yes, this is the move which most of the people play in the fishing pole trap. And now you play queen takes f2. The king has to go here, which is the only option. And now you come up with a highly appreciable queen sacrifice, queen to g1 check. Now the rook has to take. Now you just play knight to f2, and it is a beautiful checkmate. Even you may think that the knight can take, but that it doesn't matter. You just play knight to f2, and it is a clean smothered checkmate. And again, in the same case, in the Mortimer trap, you see that the pieces of white are being cramped, and they have not developed. And the idea you should learn is that there are two main ideas. In the first, when white tries to kick off the knight, in that position, you could the idea you should learn is that when you play the move h5, you should think of that you are opening this diagonal, this column or row file, the h file for the rook to attack, and it will be completely open. And it is very useful because because white has castle, and the queen, even d6 will be played soon, and queen, bishop, all will point out in this direction, and you can just gain significant advantage in this position. So that is the idea you should learn. And in the fishing pole trap, the idea you should learn is that you should always develop your pieces quickly, and not get them very cramped, or you should not play very passively or very defensively. So I have ended this video with two nice traps, and you could try all these and learn the Berlin defense. It is a very special weapon. It is also called as Kramnik's weapon, as he defeated Kasparov, and there are many variations, not variations exactly. There are many games played in the Berlin defense. The first is that Kasparov Kramnik Classical World Chess Championship 2000, and the next famous game is that Vishy Anand versus Magnus Carlsen, the World Chess Championship 2013, and Timur Razdabov versus Magnus Carlsen, and Poyatos versus Rohtim Andorra Open in 2006. So the Poyatos Rohtim Andorra Open 2006 was a very long game played, and you should definitely check out that, and it is a very nice game that you can watch and learn. And okay everybody, I have ended this video. I'll be posting many videos on that. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Please do like if you only like my content. Please do not if you can also share your thoughts, and you can suggest some ideas. I want to you may ask any doubts, or you can also suggest some ideas, and you can tell me to specify something, and you can also ask me anything to post any videos, and you can convey it in the comments, and please do like my video, and subscribe to my channel. Please do not only watch, please do subscribe as well, and mark my words, I'll definitely become a grandmaster, and I'll definitely become, and I'll be sharing interesting content from now. And I have posted 6 games which are very famous, and I'll also be posting many games. I'll be analyzing the positions, and I've taken notes for that as well. I'll be making videos on that, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll be making videos on the Brayer variation, the Chigorin variation, and the Bird's defense also. So bye bye.